As soon as you spawn in, you want to head your way to the first room, as you've seen. You do get 20 minutes, but you actually spawn in really super late. Whether it's a console thing, I don't know. But anyways, you want to make your way to the first part. First part, you're going to have to deal with a couple of void shielded shanks, 2 arc captains, and 2 invisible all in here. You can use a void wall on the shanks above you. You also got 2 snipers as well, so you want to prioritize getting those before you take the shanks to your left. And we can do another void wall for the remaining shanks and put a Witherhoard shot with that. Having the knowledge of all the shields and what you're going to come up against in advance helps out the run a lot. Since you have Witherhoard on, which I strongly recommend if you don't have Anarchy that you use this weapon, because this is probably the next best thing for missions like this as well, is that you don't always have to match the shields. You can have Witherhoard take down a lot of the shields for you. So for example, we've got some solar shields in this room, so we're going to use Witherhoard when we actually hit our shots. You can use Witherhoard on that, and then that will constantly tick away at the shield and easily take the shield away. And these shields as well, if you don't match, they're usually hard to take down. They're not quite match game shields, but they're definitely stronger than the average shield you would see. Now we're going to void wall the second heavy shank. Take out pretty quickly. Before you push up as well, make sure you clear out all the snipers, and always strafe as well if you notice, if you can. Also, we're using charge with light when we can, especially for like when we haven't got solar on right now. You can utilize that, then take him down pretty quick, and then while he's burning away, look for any ammo that you may need. I never went to the tribute hall to start to get full ammo before starting it, which I advise that you should, just in case you might not get the heavy drops throughout the run. I ended up getting heavy, so I was alright, but that's probably because I had all the ammo perks on my armor to make sure that I'm getting the ammo that I need. Always put on ammo finders, they help out. Okay, so with the next room, you're going to have a bunch of snipers at the back of the map with vandals. You want to take out those first. This is why we've got a bow on. You could alternatively use a scout rifle or a pulse rifle, anything with range that you feel comfortable using. But I just prefer using this bow, as I use this bow for most of the run anyways. So here's the spawns of the snipers, as so. Once you took those out, you can use some Witherhoard shots on some of the ads. They sort of sit nicely there if you're standing where I am. You can also do a void wall if you wish. You could alternatively just use your super straight away. I didn't, but can if you wish. At this point you can just use your super, use as many shield throws as you can to get that super energy back. Like so. If you still have a lot of super energy left, you can take the remaining servitors down below, which there's 2 that spawn with the tank. I use it for the remaining solar shanks since I don't have a solar weapon on, so it just ensured that I could take them down quickly without having to mess about. So you can void wall the tank, put a couple of Witherhoard shots on the tank while dealing with your last servitor. As you can see, we got our void wall grenade back. We just used it and we got it back, so that's how strong it is. The reason being is because it detonates on each individual leg. So the tank's got what, 6 legs? If it's detonating on all 6 legs, that's counting as 6 adds. Therefore you're going to get the grenade energy back. That's what makes void wall so strong for this. It's strong in general, very strong. Just make sure that you're good for ammo as well. I was just checking, there was an ammo brick that dropped there. Also, you'll notice that sometimes this video skips a bit, which that's just a problem on PS4. Nothing I can really do about it. It's due to recording on PS4 Pro. It's just something that we have to live with until PS5. Okay, so this is sort of just small encounter if you like, just a couple of adds. There'll be a heavy shank in the middle. You can board wall him, put a couple of Witherhoard shots on, and just take out the remaining adds and snipers. And then we're going to be on to the hardest bit of the run. What you'll find with 0 Hour, if you're new to it, it won't be the encounters, the adds, that'll be giving you the troubles. It'll be more to do with the jumping puzzle. Even for likes of me who used to always run this, if I haven't run it for 6 months and I come back to the jumping puzzle, like I ran a normal, and like I find the normal jumps harder than heroic. For whatever reason, I just do. I actually prefer to run heroic. I did do a normal run as well, if people wanted to see that, but they're basically the same. Normal and heroic. The adds don't hit any harder on either version, just due to how powerful we are now, like our power level compared to this old activity. With this bit, you need to make sure you clear out all adds. There's no skipping at all. The actual door, the exit, will not open. So if you have an ad that's left up, especially that invisible guy, if you haven't noticed that you've took him out, you'll end up wasting time there. And there's not much time you want to be wasting, especially if you're not doing this with fallen armaments. Fallen armaments, if you do have it, put it on. It makes all the difference. You can spam your heavy, put a machine gun on and just rip through it like that. But if you don't, again, it's not required. Definitely not. Okay, so with normal, if you were running the normal, you'd go left, but on heroic, you go right at this section. So this is something you just got to memorize. So you go down this pipe here, you turn round, and then it's this particular vent. Then you go left, and then with this bit, you want to take the switch that I'm going to be going to, but I'm going to put Lion Rampants on. You don't have to, but it makes the jumping part a little bit easier and a little bit safer. So it's that particular switch. There's another couple of switches in this room, but you just go for the switch that I got there. If you go for any other switches, it's the wrong one. Then this is the exit area. You want to come to this part, and basically that switch has just opened this lid. It's opened the lid so that we can then jump up and keep going up like that. And it's just as you see, this jump for me is awkward, generally, but as long as you time your jump correctly, you should be good. And it's just taking your time. There's actually no mantle mechanic in this. On a lot of the jumps in this secret mission, there's no mantle mechanic, like in D1. That was probably done on purpose to make the jumping puzzle harder, for whatever reason. There's mantle mechanics at some parts, but if you flat out miss a jump on something and you just bounce off the lip of something, you'll just fall off. You won't mantle. Okay, so this is the part when you go outside. You just want to take it one by one, as you see. Then I like to go to this top pipe, which you don't have to, but that's the way I take it. Then onto this pipe, which will fall, by the way, if you don't quickly jump. So will that section there. And you jump around, which is kind of easy with Lion Rampants. And then at this part, you want to wait until this particular step opens. You need to wait, and then you just jump right across. And on the last jump, you can jump as high as you can, and it just makes this part quicker. That means you don't have to jump 3 or 4 times, it's just 2 jumps then. With the slide areas, you want to be jumping up against the ceiling of it to slow you down. If you go through here too quick, you will bang into the wall and probably die. So you want to do 1 or 2 jumps while you're sliding down to slow down your momentum, basically. You take these 2 pipes here through the vent, and then we're at the fan section. Now, if you've got Lion Rampant on, you could do this probably way better than what I did. You can actually make the fans in 1 jump without hitting, without actually landing at all. You probably want to put catapult jump on if you're going to do it like that, but I just end up doing it this way. With this particular jump, you want to be jumping on it as quickly as you can and jump off. Like there, I bounced off it a little bit, which wasn't the best, but ended up working out. This jump as well here, you want to space out your jump a little bit, especially if you haven't got Lion Rampant on, as you probably won't make it if you don't. Then we'll be coming to Trevor, the robot that goes around a room and you have to hide and get all the switches. But this robot is on a set rotation, especially at the start anyways. So if you know what his rotation is, the switch room is the same every time. So you wait for him to go past first, then you follow the way he's went. Now there's 4 switches in this room, there's 2 left, 2 right. You want to get the switches on the left side first, and then when you get the 2 switches, you can then get the 2 on the right, which there's an actual section in the middle of this whole section where you can just jump from left to right, which you'll see. Like I say, if you take this route every time, you'll never encounter Trevor. He'll never end up sort of encountering him. There is little walls in the hole that you can hide in if you have made a wrong move as well. Okay, so this is the section where you can skip from left to right. And we can get the last 2 remaining switches. The electric doors as well, they're on a set pattern, so every time you do it this way you'll always encounter this electric door here. There is a quicker way of doing it. Apparently you can beat Trevor and get round, do all the switches before that, but I never end up doing that. This way I know I get through every time, so it's fine. Okay, so after this particular door here, as soon as that goes down, you want to sprint to the exit, as there'll be a door that could catch you out right there. So if you're not quickly enough, you will be blocked by that. Then you want to get on the elevator. You can jump from the there's like pillars on the wall. You can jump up and down to get up quicker. However, I just used this time to switch my gears, so I took off Lion Rampants and put on Doomfang Pauldrons. That's what I use this time for. Okay, so that's that part. We've now got another slide. Again, make sure you cancel your momentum. I actually didn't. Just make sure you do this in case. It's not as bad as the other slides on that bit. Then when you drop down, you'll be in the vault room, which you just come sort of behind you, punch this wall right here, and then this is the floor puzzle. So this is solar week for me, so I just took the solar path. If you're on Void or Arc Week, just look up on Google what the configuration is. It'll tell you. It'll give you a little diagram and you can see what your combination is. But that was the solar rotation. At this part, you want 5 minutes minimum. If you've got any less than 5 minutes, your run is going to be RNG and you might need to rush the boss fight. Even at this time that I'm on right now isn't the best. It isn't that great. If you can get here with 6 minutes, and you're on a good time, you're on a decent run for sure. So with the boss fight, you don't want to be doing any boss damage at all right now. Right now you want to take out all the ads left and right. There's 2 snipers, 2 vandals left and right. There's a couple of dregs. Knowing where they all are helps out, but having practicing it, you'll get used to that. Okay, so once you've took out all the ads, you just want to take out, I think there's a couple of dregs in the middle. I did end up leaving one ad up, but that's fine. Okay, so once we're done with that, we can do an I think we end up doing an Oppressive nade? Yeah, we do. With 2 Witherhoard shots. And then as soon as we've done that, we pop our super immediately and do a shield throw to take out all the shanks that are spawned in with the servitor. Then at that point, we can take out the servitor with our super. That's the servitor took out. There'll be a servitor that spawned behind us because of the damage that we've done. So we're going to do a couple of Witherhoard shots on that servitor, as if you don't take out the servitor, that will basically hit you in the back while you're trying to deal with everything else. At the same time, there's arc shielded shanks to my left and right here. We want to take those out to get charged with light. That's important for this. Then we can do some Witherhoard shots to the boss. We've also got charged with light to take out the tanks, so we've got tanks spawning in. You want to do a void wall, a couple of Witherhoard shots, and then I do a couple of heavy shots as well, as I don't want to be messing about with these tanks too much, because they can one-shot you if they hit you. Yeah. We've also lost our charge with light, so at this point what I should have done, there's shanks behind me to get charged with light, which I end up doing. But you want to do that first before actually doing damage to the tank, as you'll end up taking the tank out a little bit quicker than what I did. But right now, this is what you should do first. Careful of the shanks that hit you behind you, which they are solar, but we're leaving them for now. There's a couple of invisible falling in the middle as well, which can be annoying, but we'll take them out in a bit. Okay, so now we've got the second tank down. We're going to take out a couple of adds in middle. The boss actually falls down, so he baits me out. I do a nade, but he teleports out of it, so if you end up falling off the map like that, don't buy into it. Definitely save your oppressive nade for that. Okay, so before we take the shanks behind, we want to take out the vandals and stuff, as we don't want them sniping us when we do DPS to the boss. We've got 2 minutes left, so we haven't got a lot of time with this. We want to go somewhere safe to swap out to a solar energy weapon. You don't need to have a bow on, you can put on any solar energy that you want. So this we're wanting to take them all out to then get our charge with light. It's also important that you don't take out all shanks. If you take out all shanks and all adds, then kill the boss, you'll get an additional spawn of adds. So don't do it like that. So yeah, you want to leave some adds up, and then start doing your damage. So with this you can mainly use Witherhoard, plus we've got charge with light. You can use any heavy that you have remaining, but Witherhoard will do most of your work. If you're getting hit quite a lot, you can use a barricade like so and just jump over it to do damage. Also I have a super, so I could have supered the boss, but I was just content with using my weapons on him. Obviously do Oppressive Darkness nades when you can, just helps out for damage a lot. Once he's dead, take out any remaining adds that you have alive. And that's pretty much it. The turrets to my left and right are not needed, you don't need to take those out for your run. But that was basically the solo 0 hour on heroic on a Titan. Hope you enjoyed, thank you.